Motorcycles are built to thrill, but some fall flat. Today we're counting down 7 Japanese bikes you should avoid. From weak performance to dated designs, these rides just don't cut it. And dealers? They're struggling to get rid of them. Number 7. Suzuki V-strom 1050. It was built to be a do-it-all adventure machine, equipped for highways, capable of handling trails, and priced to attract the everyday rider. But the Suzuki V-strom 1050 has struggled to carve out a meaningful place in the adventure motorcycle market. What looked like a practical middleweight option has instead become a slow seller, weighed down by its compromises, its performance limitations, and a spec sheet that falls flat when lined up against today's competition. Powering the V-strom 1050 is a 1,037 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled V-twin engine that delivers 107 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque. While that may sound decent on paper, the real-world result is underwhelming. The throttle lacks snap, top-end performance is sluggish, and loaded with gear or a passenger, the bike feels strained on inclines and overtakes. In a category where many competitors are now producing well over 90 horsepower, this model falls noticeably behind, especially when you consider the price tag. The chassis rests on a steel twin-spar frame mated to an adjustable 43-inch front fork and a link-type rear shock. Designed to offer a balance between street comfort and light off-road use, the suspension ends up satisfying neither. On pavement, it absorbs bumps with a spongy feel, and off-road, it bottoms out more often than riders expect from a proper adventure rig. Braking duties are handled by dual discs at the front with 2-piston calipers and a disc brake at the rear. Anti-lock braking system comes standard, but the system's response time is slow, especially during emergency stops. The braking setup is functional, but it doesn't inspire much confidence under load or in loose terrain. The lack of cornering anti-lock braking or traction control also puts it behind many newer models at this price point. The bike rides on 19-inch front and 17-inch rear cast aluminum wheels wrapped in adventure-style dual sport tires. The wheelbase stretches to 61 inches, while curb weight sits at 534 pounds. That heft is manageable on the highway, but becomes a liability off-road or in city traffic. For newer or smaller riders, the weight combined with a relatively tall seat height of 33.5 inches makes the bike intimidating at low speeds. Tight turns, U-turns, or uneven terrain all reveal the bike's top heaviness and its sluggish steering geometry. Fuel capacity comes in at 5.3 gallons, with real-world fuel economy hovering around 47 miles per gallon, offering decent range for touring riders. However, the rest of the touring package feels incomplete. Wind protection is limited with a small manually adjustable windscreen. Storage is optional, not included. The gauge cluster features a small digital panel, but no smartphone connectivity, no rider modes, no integrated navigation, and no advanced safety features like lean angle sensors or cruise control. With a starting price of $6,900, it may seem affordable at first glance. But when compared to options like the Kawasaki Versys 650 or the Honda CB 500X, which offer sharper styling, more complete technology suites, and better ride refinement, the V-strom starts to look less like a bargain and more like a placeholder. Even within Suzuki's own lineup, it feels underinvested. While it may have been designed to offer a balance between versatility and comfort, it simply doesn't meet the expectations of today's riders. Let's now take a look at another bike that failed to make an impact. Are these bikes really worth it, or are there better alternatives? Like this video if you think these models are falling behind, and subscribe for more insights on the bikes you should avoid. Number 6. Honda CBR 500. When it comes to sport bikes, the Honda CBR 500 was initially introduced as a great entry-level option for riders looking to get into the sport bike world without breaking the bank. However, the reality of the CBR 500 has been far less impressive. The first major issue with this bike is its underpowered engine. With a modest 47 horsepower from its 472 cubic centimeter engine, the CBR 500 simply doesn't have the punch that many riders expect from a sport bike. When compared to competitors in the same category, the CBR 500 feels sluggish and uninspiring. especially for riders looking for something with more excitement and performance. This underpowered engine leaves riders with little thrill on the open road, which is disappointing given the high expectations many have for a Honda sport bike. Another problem with the CBR 500 is its poor ergonomics and uncomfortable riding position. Sport bikes are notorious for their aggressive riding posture, but this particular model pushes comfort to the back burner. The seat feels hard, and after long rides, it can become uncomfortable very quickly. The foot peg placement and handlebar reach are also not well suited for all riders, leading to unnecessary strain on the wrists, back, and legs. For a bike that's supposed to cater to beginners, it falls short in delivering a comfortable and ergonomic experience, making longer rides a less than enjoyable endeavor. The CBR 500 is also plagued by outdated technology. Over the years, Honda has not made any significant updates to the bike, leaving it behind in terms of tech features that are now standard on many modern sport bikes. The lack of updated instrumentation, advanced rider aids, and even basic features like Bluetooth connectivity make the CBR 500 feel antiquated. In a market where riders increasingly expect high-tech dashboards, ride modes, and other advanced systems, the CBR 500 seems like a relic, offering little to keep pace with more advanced rivals in the same price range. This combination of underperformance, uncomfortable ergonomics, and outdated tech has caused the CBR 500 to struggle in the marketplace. Despite its reasonable price tag, which starts at $5,200, riders have found that the bike offers little value for the money. Competitors like the Yamaha R3 and Kawasaki Ninja 400 have come to dominate this segment, offering more power, better ergonomics, and more modern technology, making the CBR 500 seem like an afterthought in comparison. Riders have been unimpressed with the CBR 500, finding it uninspiring and lacking the thrill and excitement that many sport bike enthusiasts crave. It has not developed a loyal following, and Honda's decision not to update the model has left it feeling stagnant. Despite Honda's reputation for reliability and performance, the CBR 500 has not lived up to the brand's usual high standards. In a crowded market where competition is fierce, the CBR 500 has become a bike that is too easily overlooked. Its performance fails to excite, its ergonomics are uncomfortable, and its technology feels outdated. Riders looking for a sport bike with both style and substance will undoubtedly pass on this model for something that offers more power, more comfort, and more cutting-edge features. The CBR 500 was supposed to be a starter bike, but it didn't even manage to impress beginners. Let's move on to a bike that tried to fill big shoes but ended up dropping them. While the bikes might let you down, your gear shouldn't. We've linked trusted jackets, gloves, and tools we personally recommend. Check the description. Number 5. Yamaha FZ8. When it comes to motorcycles, versatility is key. Riders expect their bikes to offer a mix of performance, comfort, and capability. The Yamaha FZ8 was designed to be an all-around standard bike, blending upright ergonomics with inline-4 sport bike performance. On paper, it sounded like a promising middleweight contender, but in practice it turned out to be a lukewarm compromise that failed to dominate any one category. The FZ8 is powered by a 779 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled inline-4 engine that produces 106 horsepower and 60 pound-feet of torque. That output places it squarely in the middle of the performance pack, respectable but not thrilling. While the motor offers smooth power delivery and decent roll-on acceleration, it lacks the low-end torque of modern twin-cylinder bikes and doesn't rev as aggressively as lighter supersports. Riders often find it competent but unexciting, particularly in a market where sharper options with more advanced electronics and lighter frames are readily available. The suspension setup consists of a non-adjustable 43-inch front fork and a preload adjustable rear monoshock. Though acceptable for commuting or casual weekend rides, the suspension lacks the finesse to handle aggressive cornering or uneven back roads. It feels too soft under braking and too stiff over potholes, neither plush nor performance-tuned. Braking duties are handled by dual front discs and a single rear disc, both with standard calipers. While stopping power is adequate, the lack of anti-lock braking system support in early models makes emergency braking feel less confidence-inspiring for newer riders. At a curb weight of 467 pounds and a seat height of 32.1 inches, the FZ8 is manageable for most riders, though some note its top heaviness during slow-speed maneuvers. The upright handlebars and slightly rear-set pegs strike a neutral ergonomic position, but longer rides can still introduce fatigue, particularly due to wind exposure and a firm saddle. The digital-analog combo instrument cluster feels dated today, and the bike lacks rider aids like traction control, adjustable ride modes, or throttle mapping, which are now standard in similarly priced modern machines. With a starting price of $7,500 when new, the FZ8 offered reasonable value in its time. However, it was quickly overshadowed by Yamaha's own FZ09, which delivered significantly more torque and updated features at a similar price point. Meanwhile, competitors like the Suzuki GSX S750 or the Kawasaki Z800 delivered comparable performance with improved technology, comfort, or style. As a result, the FZ8 failed to develop a loyal following and quickly faded into the background of Yamaha's lineup. Despite its clean design and solid reliability, the FZ8 was never quite enough to win hearts. Caught between sport bike aggression and commuter practicality, it delivered neither with enough conviction. For that reason, it remains one of Yamaha's more forgettable middleweights. Competent, but not compelling. Now let's shift focus to a bike that promised entry-level thrills but left too many riders disappointed. Number 4. Kawasaki Ninja 300. It was designed to be a high-performance, entry-level sport bike that could handle both novice and experienced riders. However, despite its sporty looks and brand reputation, it struggles to meet the expectations set by its competition. One of the primary issues with the Ninja 300 is its engine. Equipped with a 330 cubic centimeter engine, it generates a mere 39 horsepower. In a market where rivals offer more powerful engines for a similar price, the Ninja 300's engine simply doesn't keep up. Despite being marketed as a sport bike, the Ninja 300 doesn't deliver the kind of thrilling performance that riders expect. Its engine struggles to provide enough power for higher speed riding, making it a poor choice for those looking to enjoy some serious acceleration or long rides. While the engine might be suitable for beginners or casual city rides, it simply falls short for riders looking for a bike that can handle higher speeds or more demanding conditions. In addition to the engine's lack of performance, the handling of the Ninja 300 leaves much to be desired. For a bike that's supposed to appeal to novice riders, its handling can be unstable, particularly at higher speeds or during aggressive cornering. The bike feels twitchy and unpredictable, which can be dangerous for new riders who may not have the experience to compensate for its lack of stability. The front end often feels too light, making it challenging to maintain control during tight turns or sudden maneuvers. These issues with handling undermine the Ninja 300's appeal as a starter bike, as new riders need a bike that they can trust to behave predictably and safely. Another significant drawback of the Ninja 300 is its unimpressive fuel efficiency. For a smaller engine bike, it doesn't deliver the kind of fuel economy that one would expect. Riders looking to save money on fuel will be disappointed, as the Ninja 300 gets only about 55 miles per gallon. Average at best for a bike in its category. Competitors such as the Yamaha R3 offer better fuel efficiency with similar power outputs, making the Ninja 300 less attractive for those seeking a more economical ride. The suspension and braking systems of the Ninja 300 also fail to impress. The suspension lacks the travel and dampening capability necessary for a comfortable and controlled ride on rougher terrain or uneven city streets. It doesn't absorb bumps effectively, leaving riders with a jarring experience. The braking system is another weak point, offering inconsistent stopping power and feeling inadequate for the type of speed the bike is capable of. While adequate for casual riding, the brakes don't inspire confidence in situations where quick stops are necessary. At a starting price of $4,999, the Ninja 300 is priced similarly to other entry-level sport bikes. However, with its underpowered engine, unstable handling, and subpar fuel efficiency, it doesn't offer the kind of value that riders expect. For just a bit more money, riders can find models that deliver better performance, reliability, and overall ride quality. As a result, the Ninja 300 has struggled to attract both new riders and seasoned enthusiasts, leaving it sitting unsold on dealership floors. The Ninja 300 fell short of expectations, unable to live up to its sporty promises. Now let's look at a bike that is also disappointed in the market. Number 3. Honda Rebel 500. When it comes to cruisers, the Honda Rebel 500 is a bike that was intended to offer a mix of style, performance, and accessibility. Unfortunately, it falls short in several key areas, leaving potential buyers disappointed. While it is marketed as a budget-friendly entry-level cruiser, the Rebel 500's performance and handling issues make it a difficult choice for many riders. With a starting price of $6,299, it promises more than it can deliver. One of the major drawbacks of the Rebel 500 is its weight. At 410 pounds, it's unexpectedly heavy for a smaller bike. This makes it difficult to maneuver, particularly for new riders or those who may not be accustomed to handling a heavier motorcycle. Riders seeking a nimble, easy-to-handle cruiser will find themselves struggling with the bike's weight, especially when navigating tight spots or making slow-speed turns. Its heavy frame limits its agility, making it a less-than-ideal choice for riders who need a motorcycle that's easy to handle in urban environments or crowded spaces. Another major issue with the Rebel 500 is the lack of power. The bike is equipped with a 479 cubic centimeter engine that produces only 47 horsepower. For a cruiser, this engine is underwhelming. Riders looking for a bike that can deliver power on highways or during longer rides will find the Rebel 500 lacking. It simply doesn't have the acceleration or top-end speed that other cruisers in this price range offer. While it's adequate for short city trips, it doesn't provide the exciting, powerful experience that many cruiser riders seek. In addition to performance concerns, the design of the Rebel 500 fails to make a lasting impression. While the bike is sleek and modern, it lacks the bold and distinctive look that many cruiser buyers expect. In a market flooded with motorcycles that have aggressive, eye-catching designs, the Rebel 500 feels too neutral. Unlike the Harley-Davidson Iron 883 or the Yamaha Bolt, which stand out with their unique styles, the Rebel 500 blends into the background. Its design doesn't make a strong statement, and many riders pass it over for bikes that offer more personality and visual appeal. Beyond its design, the Rebel 500 also struggles with basic ride quality. Its suspension system is underwhelming, failing to absorb bumps effectively and making rides feel rough, especially on uneven terrain. The bike doesn't offer the comfort that long-distance riders expect from a cruiser. The braking system, while functional, is also unremarkable, lacking the confidence-inspiring stopping power that riders need, particularly when riding at higher speeds. The ergonomics, too, leave something to be desired, with handlebars that feel too low for many riders, leading to discomfort on longer rides. In short, the Rebel 500 doesn't offer the smooth, enjoyable ride that many cruiser riders want. At $6,299, the Rebel 500 is not a cheap bike. However, for the price, it simply doesn't deliver the performance, design, and ride quality that riders expect. Other motorcycles in this price range offer more value, with better power, handling, and features. Unfortunately, the Rebel 500 struggles to live up to its promises, leaving it behind in a highly competitive market. It's clear that Honda missed the mark with the Rebel 500, but now we get into the real troublemakers. Number 2. Suzuki Hayabusa. Once considered the undisputed king of speed, the Suzuki Hayabusa was a superbike that set the bar for high-performance motorcycles. Its top-speed capabilities were legendary, and for a time it was the motorcycle to own for anyone looking to experience the thrill of raw power on two wheels. However, despite its impressive initial performance, the Hayabusa has become increasingly outdated, struggling to keep up with newer and more capable competitors. Its dominance has long faded, and now it's often regarded as a relic of the past. Equipped with a 1,340 cubic centimeter engine, the Hayabusa was known for its staggering horsepower, over 190 horsepower, making it a powerful machine capable of reaching speeds that many other motorcycles could only dream of. When it was first released, this performance was unmatched, but in today's market, it simply doesn't hold up. The lack of technological advancements and modern engineering has caused the Hayabusa to fall behind its rivals. Newer bikes, such as the Kawasaki Ninja H2 and the Yamaha YZF-R1, not only match the Hayabusa's top speed but also deliver better handling, more advanced technology, and smoother overall performance. Despite its early success, the Hayabusa's inability to adapt to modern features and designs has made it less appealing to riders seeking the latest and greatest in motorcycle technology. One of the major drawbacks of the Hayabusa is its poor fuel efficiency. Although it is marketed as a performance bike, its fuel consumption is notably higher than that of other bikes in the same class. Riders expect a certain level of fuel economy with a high-performance bike, but the Hayabusa doesn't deliver on this front. It can only achieve around 35 miles per gallon, which is disappointing for riders looking to use their bike for longer trips or for everyday commuting. With fuel prices on the rise, the Hayabusa's inefficiency makes it even less appealing to potential buyers. Competing bikes such as the Yamaha FZ and Kawasaki ZX-10R offer better fuel efficiency while still maintaining excellent performance, highlighting the shortcomings of the Hayabusa in comparison. In addition to its poor fuel efficiency, the Hayabusa is also lacking in technology when compared to its competitors. Modern sport bikes now come equipped with cutting-edge technology, including advanced ride modes, traction control, and intuitive digital displays, but the Hayabusa remains stuck in the past. Its design feels outdated, and its lack of modern tech makes it feel disconnected from the tech-savvy riders of today. For those looking for a motorcycle that offers the latest advancements in technology, the Hayabusa simply doesn't measure up. The bike's analog instrumentation, lack of electronic aids, and minimal customization options make it feel like a relic from a bygone era, further distancing it from today's riders. At a starting price of $14,999, the Hayabusa is priced similarly to other high-performance motorcycles, but it fails to justify the cost. For the same price, riders can purchase bikes that offer better performance, more advanced technology, and greater comfort. The Hayabusa's price tag no longer aligns with what it offers, especially when compared to newer motorcycles that deliver more value for the money. The Hayabusa once ruled the roads, but now it's just an expensive, outdated relic. Now brace yourself for the next bike on the list, which has become a shadow of its former self. Think one of these bikes deserves a second chance, or do they all miss the mark? Like the video if you agree, and subscribe to stay updated on which bikes are truly worth your time. Number 1. Kawasaki Versys 1000. Adventure motorcycles are built for versatility, with riders seeking a bike that can handle everything from city streets to rugged trails. The Kawasaki Versys 1000, however, falls short in almost every aspect that adventure enthusiasts hold dear. Designed to offer a combination of on-road comfort and off-road capability, it ends up failing to deliver a satisfying experience on either front. At the heart of the Versys 1000 is a 1,000 cubic centimeter engine that produces 118 horsepower and 75 pound-feet of torque. While these numbers seem decent on paper, the bike struggles to translate this power into a thrilling and engaging riding experience. Instead of feeling nimble and dynamic, the Versys 1000 feels sluggish, especially when compared to its competitors in the adventure bike market. Riders looking for a bike that can handle quick acceleration and sharp turns will be disappointed by the bike's lack of agility. One of the biggest issues with the Versys 1000 is its weight. The bike tips the scales at 535 pounds, making it heavy for a motorcycle that's designed for both touring and off-roading. This excess weight makes it harder to handle, particularly on tight trails or while navigating challenging terrain. Riders expecting the light, responsive handling typically found in adventure motorcycles will find the Versys 1000 cumbersome. The weight also becomes an issue when maneuvering through city streets, making it less than ideal for daily use or for riders who want a bike that can easily weave through traffic. The suspension system on the Versys 1000 is another significant drawback. Adventure motorcycles are known for their ability to provide a comfortable ride over rough terrain, but the suspension on the Versys 1000 fails to deliver in this regard. The front suspension lacks sufficient travel to absorb bumps effectively, while the rear suspension doesn't provide the support needed for long-distance touring. Riders often report feeling every bump and dip in the road, leading to a less than comfortable experience on extended rides. For a bike marketed as an adventure touring motorcycle, this lack of suspension performance is a critical issue. In terms of technology, the Versys 1000 is also outdated. Modern adventure motorcycles come equipped with advanced features like ride modes, traction control, and electronic suspension adjustments, but the Versys 1000 lacks many of these modern conveniences. While it does feature basic ABS and a simple digital display, it doesn't offer the advanced tech that riders have come to expect in today's adventure bikes. Riders looking for a bike that blends performance with cutting-edge technology will be disappointed by the Versys 1000's lack of innovation. Perhaps the biggest issue with the Versys 1000 is its price. With a starting price of $11,400, the bike is overpriced for what it offers. For the same price, riders can find better alternatives that offer superior performance, better suspension, and more modern technology. Competitors like the Yamaha Tenere 700 and the Honda Africa Twin provide more value for the money, delivering better off-road capability, more advanced features, and overall better performance for adventure riding. Thanks for watching. Now that you know which bikes to steer clear of, let us know in the comments which model surprised you the most. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more motorcycle tips.